This is a picture from my camera right here. This is my camera. It's not from a website. It's not a screenshot or anything like that. This is literally no filters, no nothing, just exposure changes. And this is a picture of our moon. Okay. So I understand things can distort. I get it. I've seen things look very differently once you emboss them, reverse the exposure, overexpose them and stuff. But one thing Photoshop does not do is create symmetrical things that aren't there. Okay, so all this stuff, I'm not sure what this is, but let me show you what the original picture is. Now, this is the most important part here, these bands. But, sorry, I'm doing this from my phone. But let me show you the original. This is the original picture. Okay, this turned into this. Those are the same pictures. There's no artistry. It's not a comic book rendering or anything. This is literally what Photoshop captured. Photoshop does not create symmetry. It wouldn't work if it did. So let's look at a few things that might remind you of this. Anything here? Anything here? David Icke is starting to not look so crazy to me right now. Does that look familiar? And there we are. From here to here. Now, what got me onto this, and I do a lot of night photography, I never thought about just overexposing everything. Now, this looks nothing like the moon. Look at this here. Remember, Photoshop does not seek symmetry. That's not what it does. It hugs actual things or light or whatever. Whether it's a laser, whether it's a rock, whatever. I'm not going to claim to know what all this stuff is. It might just be noise that, because sunlight has color, I suppose someone would say. So, of course, it's going to be colorful. So this is something that came out of a random channel that I found of a girl, and I'll leave the link below, that started taking moon pictures. This is your full moon. And I think it's legit. That's why I started doing it. That's why I started doing my stuff with the bands around it. Going, all right, what happens if you overexpose something? She spent a lot of time doing this. Like, I spent 2 or 3 minutes. She spent probably 3 or 4 hours just, drawing out the most tiny nuances. But this is what it came out to be. She might not be legit, but I'll let you decide if you look at the link below. She talks you through it. You get to watch it real time to where she goes from the full moon to this. This is your full moon. And I think it's legit. That's why I started doing it. That's why I started doing my stuff with the bands around it. Going, all right, what happens if you overexpose something? She spent a lot of time doing this. Like, I spent 2 or 3 minutes. She spent probably 3 or 4 hours just, drawing out the most tiny nuances. But this is what it came out to be. She might not be legit, but I'll let you decide if you look at the link below. She talks you through it. You get to watch it real time to where she goes from the full moon to this. That's insane. So what I'm saying is, There's something going on here. This isn't a crazy, like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? The end of the world is near, or something like that. That's not what this is. But there's something going on. If this is real, which the jury's out, we're going to test some stuff. But if it is, we have to actually really look at some stuff. The David Icke thing about, the moon being something that we didn't think it was. This does not look like a floating rock. You can take a picture all day long and pick it apart on Photoshop and render and overexpose, underexpose. You're never going to come up with something that looks like this. She does it real time on her video. Please watch the link. I don't know what the answer is. Those are band waves. They're waves. Okay? I know a lot of people think because it's digital that things kind of dissipate. One of the biggest problems digital cameras had at first was like a gray sky against a slightly grayer sky, but it wouldn't look like that. It would dissipate. It would pixelate gradiently. That's not what this is. Photoshop did not create this. That's there. Those are waves. And guess where they are? In the vacuum of space. That looks like what do you think? I don't know the answer. I'm not claiming to, but it's worth looking at. Aim your camera at the moon. Do it at the sun. Do it at the stars. I'm not trying to corner the market on this. I want everyone to start doing this. And this is a big deal. If I can take a picture of this, notice that like right here, the waves, if it's emitting energy, is not coming off of where the other side of the dark side of the moon is, or the shadow of the moon. In other words, where the circle would be completed, they're not bouncing off of that. They're bouncing directly off of this. And I know people are going to jump in and say, whatever. This is not normal. You don't get this. You recreate this anywhere else. Now, I'm gonna keep digging around here because maybe it can be debunked, but it's going to have to be debunked in a way that I can't fathom. I know if I take a picture of a flashlight, a light source, it ain't going to look anything like this, especially if I do it in a vacuum. So, I don't know. Y'all dig around, man. This is why we do this, right? We're not just trying to sit on, we think the earth is flat, or we think space is fake. Let's figure out what the fuck is going on. Let's find out the truth. This is pretty big, I think. No one's going to feel comfortable explaining this. I don't care how many letters they have by their name on the wall. So, cheers, guys.